2 interceptions. Did you say anything to DTR to get him to settle down and settle in? Because after that, you guys go on touchdown drives and 4 of the next 5 possessions.
We talked coming into the game about not flinching. You know, we knew that we were going to get their best shot, and just being resilient. I think this is a really resilient group. You know, a week ago, we were down 20-7 to Colorado, and then scored 37 straight. You know, to win 40-20. You know, it's a credit to those guys. The game of football, and I've said it a long time ago, it's not perfect, but it's a game of resiliency, and I think that was on display today with this group.
Can you talk about the O-line too? Because it seemed like he had endless amount of time for the receivers to get separation on some of those routes.
Yeah, I thought our offensive line really did an outstanding job today protecting Dorian in the pass game. That allowed us. They were crowding the line of scrimmage early in the game, but we were fortunate to get the ball over the top. You know, the 2 to Kaz that were huge for us. Dulcich had a big one. Mike Ezeki on one. You know, but that was part of our design going into the game. But credit our offensive line for giving Dorian the protection to find those receivers.
I think Dorian had a 325.1 passer rating after this first 4 incompletions. Is this one of the best quarterback performances you've seen from one of your players?
Yeah, I mean, he's a special player, and I've said it since the beginning. You know, I love the kid. You know, he's as tough as they come, both mentally and physically, and that was just on display today.
Was there something you guys saw throughout the week that led to that Kaz Allen kick return, or was that just a credit to his talent?
You know, we've been close. If you watched our games this year, there's a couple times where he's been, you know, he broke one early in the year. I think it was a 73-yarder, and but we felt like we've got a good design, and we got some guys that really take a lot of pride in it because they know if they get on their blocks, that Kaz can take one home. And we were just hoping. A lot of times they got a really good kicker. A lot of times that was kicked out of the end zone, so you don't get a chance to return it. But if they gave us an opportunity to return it, we were hoping to get it. And I think everybody kind of knew what we were hoping for, and it panned out. You know, I thought Kaz played outstanding today.
How special was that touchdown by Ethan Fournier, considering all he's been through?
Yeah, you know, Ethan's a super senior that came back for his 6th year. He's given everything to this football program. Everything you want in a Bruin football student athlete is Ethan. He'll graduate, he'll be a double Bruin. He's got an undergrad degree, he's got a graduate degree. He was really playing well for us and then hurt his wrist. Thought he was done for the season, but he wasn't. You know, he elected to have surgery and come back and play this year, and to finish it off that way for that kid was just awesome. He's a special young man.
You just scored the most points UCLA's ever scored against USC. How does that feel for you?
I'm not into comparisons, and I don't know what other people did in the past. I know there's a lot of really, really good football teams that played here at UCLA. Anytime you can come to the Coliseum and win a football game is what it's all about, whether it was 6-2 or 66 to whatever the score was. I don't know the final. That's not what we're about. We're about, you know, finishing off, being resilient, and I thought that's the thing that I'm most impressed with today, regardless of how many points were in the board.
With Britt and Brown now, Zach Charbonnet had to carry the running load, and he never seemed fatigued. Even at the end, he was picking up big chunks of yards.
No, he wasn't. I'm with you. I agree with you. He just, our entire team, you know, we get stronger in the second half. I think it's a credit to how they train. It's a credit to what these guys do and how we practice and what our training methodology is. These guys have bought into it, hook, line, and sinker, and we are a really strong team. You know, you look at like we had last week, we were down 20-7 and then scored 37 straight points. And the same thing here. That's why being resilient, not flinching in the face of adversity is what this program is built on, and it was on display today. So, you know, if we got to go another quarter, then this group will go another quarter. They're just so fun to coach. It's a special group of young men.
Coach, when you were first hired, I asked you, were you able to get another chance at Thomas? And it looks like you have one now.
Get another chance at what?
I said, when you were first hired, I said, we need another DeAnthony Thomas to come, for you to bring a DeAnthony Thomas to UCLA.
Okay.
And you said, you know, I'm going to try. Today it looked like Allen.
Oh, I got you, yeah. Yeah, Kaz is special.
Yeah.
You know, and he's really getting comfortable with being a receiver. With Britton down, he actually played a lot more at running back this week in training because we didn't know what our depth behind Zach was going to be, especially if Britt was going to be out. You know, we found out Britt couldn't go today. Kaz was loaded up to play some running back too, so he really is starting to kind of get into that role, and we needed him today. You know, we needed the kickoff return, we needed 2 long touchdown passes. I think he's starting to get really comfortable out there, and that's a good thing for the Bruins.
Martin Andrews was the team captain for you guys at the point toss, and then I believe he got in there a little bit for you guys during the game.
Yeah.
How important and how significant was that for you to see him get in there?
It was awesome. He has worked so hard at his rehab, and to have the injuries that he's had and the way he persevered. You talk about a resilient young man. Martin is that, and our players love him. The coaches love him. He's special, and I was so excited to tell him that he was going to be a captain today in the Coliseum, lead us out there, and then to get him in the game and watch him start to get back on the field, because I've seen him on the side and I know how hard he works, and that's kind of what it's all about. You know, to help these guys. Our job as coaches is to create an environment where they have an opportunity to be successful, and then get out of the way and let them do it. And Martin has done that, so it was really cool to have him back, and we're excited that we got at least 2 more games. And we got Cal and we got a bowl game. So.
Is that something you found out today that he was going to be? That you tell him he's going to be a captain, or was that earlier in the week?
No, we told him this morning. So.
Our question: do you take any personal satisfaction from this win, and do you think this win saved your job?
I always take personal satisfaction in every game we win, and I think it's really not what the coaching part of it is. It's just, you watch how hard these players work, in what they put in during the week, and what it means to them. And so for them to go out on Saturdays, they were prepared the way they prepared all week long, and then the way they prepared to see it come to fruition on a Saturday is just an awesome deal. So we were really, really excited, as a group. You look at the enthusiasm and the energy and the juice this team has. They're a lot of fun to be around.
Do you think this win saved your job?
I'm not in charge of that. So.
Chuck, what does it mean? You got it. Now your 7th win, guaranteed a winning season, even though you got a bowl game and next week left.
Yeah. Again, anytime you get an opportunity to win, we don't talk about numbers. So it's not, hey, we got the 6, we got the 7, we got the 8. We live in a submarine every week. And we go down Periscope, we prepare for whoever we're going to play, and then we go play it, and then that's it. So, we're not writing a story here. This isn't. We don't have a pen in our hand, and we're not writing a story, and nor do we care about that. What we care about is how do we prepare during the week, and then how do we compete on Saturdays, and then we go back and learn from those experiences, and then we move on. It's an evolution that will go on and on and on and on and on. But we don't have any time to sit back and say, hey, we won 7. This means this. I've said it a lot, and I'll say it again. We don't play football for what it gets you. We play football for what it allows us to become. And I'm watching these guys grow up in front of our eyes, and it's really cool to be a part of that.
When you had the
obviously playing quarterback in Division I college football is a tough job. Any thoughts on DTR getting a signature win as a senior in this series and playing extremely well?
Yeah, again, I'm not writing the story, so I hope his signature win is next week, and I hope he has a signature win in the bowl game, and I hope we continue to grow and evolve as a group. So we don't have time right now to sit back and wax nostalgic over what this means in the grand scheme of things. And I don't think that way. I'm not as creative as you guys are. You guys are a lot better at the pros part of it. So you guys have at it and pen something really cool to read, and I'll read it to those guys when the season's over.
Do you have any thoughts on DTR going over to that kid and signing his hat?
I did not see that. I just heard that. So I didn't see it, so I can't say anything about it. It didn't hurt us. So a lot of crazy things happen in sports.
What about your 2 penalties?
What's that?
What about your 2 penalties?
I did not have 2 penalties. I had 1 penalty.
So the first sideline penalty wasn't
That was
against
not
you?
on me, no.
Okay.
So I had 1 penalty.
What were you upset about on that play?
I'm not allowed to talk about when I was a second.
When you went for 2, was it because you wanted a 3 possession?
Yeah, we wanted a 3-possession game, and it made it 3-8s. 3-8s equal 24. It was an analytical decision. We weren't trying to run anything up or do anything like that. If you make it 3-8s, it's really difficult with 6:45 left. We've calculated in our head that it would take 16 plays for us to get back on the field. And so if we could get back on the field, even though they scored 1, if they got an 8, then they're still down 16. That mathematically, if we got that 2-point conversion, we didn't think that they would have an opportunity to get back in it. And all of our decisions to go for 2 are based on analytics. So, we kind of crunch the numbers real quick on the sideline, and you can't have any math out there. I'd almost have to take my shoes off to count my toes because we read so many where we were, but trying to get to it. But we were trying to get it to 24. If you get it to 24, that's 3/8. And we felt like at that point in time, with the time left, that even if they got 3 touchdowns and 3 2-point conversions, it would still be a tie. So that was really what the decision was made from that standpoint.
You talk about how every week you prepare like a game's your Super Bowl. When you are about to win a game, when you win a game like this on the sideline, is it any different that it's a USC win, it's a win in this crosstown rivalry?
It may be for the players, but it's not for me. I was
Okay.
thinking of Cal walking off the field, to be honest with you. So trying to see what the score was in that game and, what did Justin do? Because I know his team's been banged up and how many people played and all those other things. But as we were walking off the field, my thoughts were towards Cal.
All right, thanks, Coach.